Hello students. Hello students. Today we are going to study next chapter 8086 microprocessor. That is the fourth chapter. 8086 is the first 16-bit microprocessor developed by Intel and launched in 1978. The introduction of 16-bit microprocessor was a result of the increasing demand for more and more powerful and high speed, and the 8086 has much more powerful instruction set along with architectural developments which imparted substantial programming flexibility and the improvement in a speed over the 8-bit microprocessor. And in this 8086, this is a 16-bit microprocessor. So in this microprocessor HMOS technology is used, and it is available in a 14-pin IC. It consists of 2900 transistor, and it has 20 address lines which can interface 2 raised to 20 is equal to 1 megabyte memory, 2 raised to 2, 20 address lines. Out of 20 address lines, 2 raised to 20, 1 MB memory access, that is that 8086. And memory means it can addresses up to 1 MB memory. Out of 20 address lines, 16 address lines are multiplexed with data line, and that named as AD0 to AD15, and remaining 4 address lines are multiplexed with status signal. This is a microprocessor. 8086 is a 16-bit microprocessor having 20 address lines. So memory access 2 raised to 20 is equal to 1 MB memory, and in this SMOS technology is used, and there are the transistors are 2900 transistors are used in this processor, and that HMOS means hybrid metal oxide semiconductor memory is used. And out of 20 address lines, 16 are multiplexed with data line, that is AD0 to AD15, and remaining are multiplexed with status signal, that we study in a detail that in a pin diagram. That features of 8086 microprocessor. This processor is a 16-bit processor. 16-bit processor. It provides 20 address lines. So 1 megabyte memory can be addressed. 2 raised to 20 is equal to 1 megabyte. And this is multiplexed with 16 address lines and data bus, that is a AD0 to AD7, and this minimizes the number of pins. And for this 8086 processor having the clock frequency 5 megahertz, 8 megahertz, 10 megahertz, and it can perform the arithmetic operations at, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division of 8-bit or 16-bit data. And this is the instruction. In this instruction set is powerful and flexible, can be performed in a high level language like C, and it can be operate in a single processor as well as a multi-processor configuration. So there are the two operating modes. That two operating modes are maximum mode and minimum mode, that operate in a 2 modes. And it provides 6-byte instruction queue for pipelining of instruction execution. 6-byte instruction queue for pipelining of instruction queue. This is this point we study in architecture. What is that queue and how that queue is a 6-byte long. And from this point, there is one question is asked: what is a queue and how this is a 6-byte long? And one question is asked in this question. In this point, there is one question is asked: explain the silent features of 8086, 8 marks, 6 marks, or 4 marks. And it provides the 256 factored software interrupts, and operate in a maximum and minimum mode to achieve the high level performance. And it also provides the separate instruction for string instruction. It provides the separate instruction for the string instruction. It is a processor. It works on a, it is a processor. It is a 16-bit microprocessor having 20-bit address lines. Out of 20 are multiplexed with address lines, and remaining are multiplexed with AD0 to AD15. AD0 to AD15 In this there is a one mistake. AD0 to AD7 are given. AD0 to AD15 are multiplexed with address and data, and remaining are multiplexed with status line. This is the features of 8086 processor. Next is that next point is pin description of 8086. Pin description of 8086. This 8086 processor, this is a pin diagram of 8086. In this pin diagram there is a form 14 pin. This is a 14 pin IC. That is a pin number first is for ground, and remaining from 16 to 2 there are the AD0 to AD14 here, and 39 pin number is AD50. That is a multiplexed with address and data line out of 20, and remaining are multiplexed with status line, and that remaining are the A19, A18, A17, A16 with multiplexed with status lines, remaining are the NMI interrupt. These are the interrupt pins. Clock is given. That is a clock. That clock are given by oscillator. That is a clock. Pin number is a 19. Pin number 20 is ground. Then reset, ready, test bar, QS1, QS0, S0 bar, S1 bar, S2 bar, lock bar, RQ-GT1, RQ-GT0, read bar, MNMX bar, BHE bar, S7. These are the pins, and we study one by one these pins. These pins we study one by one. Then first pin number 1 to 16, pin number 1 to 16, pin number 1 to 16, and pin number 2 to 16, and pin number 39. This is AD0 to AD15. These lines are time multiplexed bidirectional address and data bus. And during T1 clock cycle, these bus carry lower order 16-bit addresses. Means from that line AD0, A means address, D means data. Address and data are multiplexed. Pin number 1, 2 to 16 and 39. These are multiplexed bidirectional address and data bus. During T1 clock cycle, it carry lower address 16-bit address, and during the T2, T3, T4 clock cycle, these carry 16-bit data. And these lines AD0 to AD lines carry lower order byte of data, and AD8 to AD15 carry higher order of byte of data. Means when T1 clock cycle carry the lower order of address lines, and when T2, T3, T4 it's carry the data lines. These are the time multiplexed bidirectional address and data bus. Pin number 1 to 16 and 39 AD0 to AD15. From out of 29, A19 S6, A8, A18 S5, A17 S4, A16 S3. Pin number 35 to 38. These are time multiplexed and status lines. During T1 clock cycle, these carry the upper 4-bit address, and during upper addresses, and for the reset of the clock cycle T2, T3, T4 clock cycle, these carry the S3 and S4 status signal. S4 carry the status signal, and these status lines are used to identify memory segments. That memory is divided into 4 parts. That memory is a 1 megabyte memory, and for this 1 megabyte memory is divided into 4 part. Each memory is a 64 byte, and that memory is a for every segment memory, that is a core segment memory, extra segment memory, stack segment memory, data segment memory. That memory is divided into 4 part, and each memory part is a 64 byte, and total memory capacity is a 1 megabyte. Then that time that S3 and S4 carry the status signal, and these status signals are used to identify memory segments. When S3 and S4 are 00 segment register, that is used as a ES. When 0 1, that time stack segment register, and when 1 0 there is a CS or none, and when 1 1 S3 and S4 are 1 1, then data segment register. And S5, from that status line, S5 will give the status of interrupt flag. In that processor, which interrupt is generated, that time interrupt flag is generated, that status gives the S5 status signal. That status which processor works and what is their status, that status lines are give the information of all the activity that do the processor. That S3 is carry the status signal. These status lines are used to identify segments. S5 will be give the status of interrupt flag, and S6 is give the always 0. S6 is always 0. S3 and S4 carry the status signal. Carry the status signal and used to identify the memory. That memory 00 extra segment memory, S3 and S4. S3 and S4 01 stack segment memory, and S3 and S4 10 code segment memory, and S3 and S4 are 11 data segment memory, means it gives the status of identify the memory segment. And S5 status signal is used to gives the status of interrupt flag, and S6 will be always 0. Next pin is a BHE bar S7. This BHE bar S7 pin number 34. This pin is used for the bus high enable status pin. The bus high enable signal is used to indicate transfer of data over the higher order data bus, that is a D8 to D15 line. From this line transfer the higher data. This signal is used, and it goes low for the data transfer over the D8 to D15, and peripheral of, that is a BHE bar S7. These are the time multiplex line. So during the T2 to T4, the status signal, that is a S7, is transmitted on this line, and it remains always high. Means this bus enable high pin, the status pin is used to indicate the transfer of data over the higher order data line or lower order higher order data line. That is a higher order data line, that is a AD0 to AD15, higher order D8 to D15. From that line that transfer the data, and always that is a S7 is a time multiplexer. During S7 this is transmitted from the S7 line. Next pin is a read bar. This is a read output. This pin is a 32 pin number. This is an active low signal. This is a read signal, that this is issued by the processor to indicate that the processor is performing the operation of the read operation with memory or memory or input and output devices, and this signal is depending upon the MI IO bar signal. This is depending upon the status of MI IO bar signal. This signal is used to read the device which are connected to 8086. Means this is an active low. Read bar means active low. This is issued by the processor to indicate the performing the operation, read operation, that read the data from memory or input and output devices. That is signal is used read bar. Next pin is a ready, that is pin number 22. It is an active high input signal. This is an acknowledgement from the slower IO devices or memory, and when it is high, it indicate that when this pin is high, it indicate that the device is ready to transfer the data. Device is ready to transfer the data. That purpose that ready pin is used. Next pin is reset. This pin number is 21. It reset the system. That purpose that reset pin is used. When processor enter into reset state and terminate the current activity and start the execution of the next signal or next clock cycle, that for that reset pin is used. Next pin is interrupt INTR, that is a INTR, that pin number is 18. This is a interrupt request. This is a level triggered interrupt request input pin. this pin is it is if any interrupt is occur in a processor, that pin in occurred, then that gives the information of interrupt. This pin is level triggered interrupt request pin, and if any interrupt request is occurred, then processor enters into interrupt acknowledgement, into the interrupt acknowledge cycle, and then that interrupt signal, that is INTA, is generated. Interrupt acknowledge signal is generated. For that, interrupt pin is used. Next is a NMI non-maskable interrupt. That pin is pin number 17. This is a age triggered interrupt request. This is a age triggered interrupt request, which causes two type of interrupt. That is, NMI is a non-maskable by software. Non-maskable by software means we do the program, any program. In that program there is an instruction is mistake or any other mistake, then that interrupt is a software interrupt. That is a software interrupt. And if there is a supply is not provided or anything is for the devices happen, then that interrupt is known as a hardware interrupt. That interrupt is known as a hardware interrupt. Then that interrupt pin if any interrupt is occurred in a processor, that indicate by the interrupt pin, and interrupt request is occurred and processor enter into the interrupt acknowledge cycle. Next pin is the test bar pin number 23. This processor, that is a 8086, has an instruction wait, that wait instruction. Whenever processor execute the wait instruction, when processor executes the wait instruction, it checks the status of test pin. If test bar pin is low, then execution is continuous. Otherwise, processor waits and go into the ideal state. That is the function of test pin. Next is a clock. That is a clock input provides basic timing processor, that is and bus controller, and the range of that various process that is we study in that features. There are the 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 5 megahertz to 10 megahertz, different versions of the clock signals are we generated, and that clock signal is generated by externally, that is processor itself not generate the clock generator. For the processor, we connect the 8284 clock generator and we generate that clocks difference 5 megahertz to 10 megahertz. That is the clock signal. Next pin is a ground pin number 1 and 20. That is a ground for the internal circuit, and VCC, that for this 8086 plus 5 volt supply is required. Next pin is MNMX bar pin number 33. MNMX bar pin number 33, that is the pin indicates the operating modes of 8086. There are the two operating modes of processor, 8086, minimum mode and maximum mode. When this pin is connected to VCC, the processor enters into minimum mode. When this pin is connected to ground, the processor operates in a maximum mode. Then minimum mode pins are, maximum mode pins are here indicating that minimum mode operation when MNMX bar pin is connected to VCC, then from 24 to 31 there are the minimum mode pins. 24 to 31 there are the minimum mode pins, that is the INTA bar, that is the interrupt acknowledge. It is an active output low signal. When processor receive interrupt signal, INTR signal, then processor completes its current machine cycle and acknowledge the interrupt by generating this signal. Acknowledge the interrupt by generating this signal. Next pin is ALE. This pin is 25 number pin, address latch enable. It is an active high pulse issued by the processor during the T1 state of bus cycle, and this is the indicate that the availability of the valid address on the AD0 to AD15, and this is latch 8282. Next pin is DIN bar. This is a data enable. This signal indicates the availability of the valid data or address lines. This signal is used for the bidirectional pin transceiver, that is a bidirectional buffer, to separate the data from multiplexed address and data signal. That is AD0 to AD15, that is a transceiver that separates the address and data lines, means A0 to A15, D0 to D15, that is separates the from the AD0 to AD15. DTR bar, data transmit received, pin number 27. This is the output signal. This is used to decide the direction of data flow through the transceiver. When the processor sends the data out, this signal is high, sends out, and when processor receives the data, then signal is low. For that, DTR bar, data transmit and receive, data transmit and receive. Next signal is MIO bar. These are the all minimum mode pins 24 to 31. MIO bar, memory input output, input output. This signal is used to distinguish memory access from input or output device. Memory access from input or output device. When this signal is low, MIO bar signal is low, then having it indicates that CPU having the IO operation, and when this signal is high, memory related, it indicates that CPU having the memory operation. When in the input output device operation is input output process, this indicate having that memory access form, or this access from memory or IO access. Then this is distinguished memory or IO access. When this signal is low, IO access, and when this signal is high, then it is operation is for memory operation. Next is a write bar. This pin number is 29. It is active low signal. It is indicate that the processor performing the write the data from memory or IO cycle, and this is depending upon the status of MIO signal. Next signal is HLDA, that is a hold acknowledge. This pin is a 30 pin. It is an active high output signal. This is generated by the processor after receiving the hold signal. And HOLD signal, this is another master device. When the another master device is needs for the address, data and control bus, it sends out the hold request to the processor to these lines, and it is an active high input signal, and processor after receiving the hold request, it issues the acknowledge signal, and that acknowledge signal is the HLDA. This is the hold request. When another master device is needs, that is address, data bus or control signal, it sends out by hold request to the processor to this line, and when this request is receiving, then acknowledge signal is generated. That signal is a HLDA pin. Next is a maximum mode pins. These are the INTA bar, ALE, DIN bar, DTR bar, MIO bar, write bar, HLDA, HOLD. These are the minimum mode pins. Maximum mode pin, when MNMX bar pin is ground, then a processor enters into maximum mode. That is a maximum mode. Pins are QS1 and QS0. Q status. These lines are provide the information about the status of instruction queue. Instruction queue, or what is a queue, we study in a architecture. It provides the information about the status of instruction queue. Next, S0 bar, S1 bar, S2 bar, status signal, pin number 26, pin number 27, pin number 28. These are the status lines. Which reflect the type of operation being carried out by processor. Which operation is performed, that reflects that lines, that is the S01, S1 bar and S2 bar. When S01, S1 bar, S2 bar are 00, interrupt acknowledge operation is performed. When 001, then read operation is performed, IO read operation is performed. 010, IO write operation is performed. 011, halt operation. When 100, opcode fetching operation. When S0, S1, S2 are 1001, memory read operation is performed. When S0, S1, S2 bar 110, memory write operation is performed. And 111 are S0, S1, S2 bar are 11, passive operation is performed. Means these status signals, these status lines which reflects the type of operation being carried out by the processor. Next pin, lock bar. That lock bar pin is connected is for 29. This is a output pin indicates by the other system bus master. This is a preventing from the gaining of the system bus while lock bar signal is low. That lock bar is a signal is a active low signal. Next is RQ bar, GT0 bar, RQ GT1 bar. These are the request grant pin number 30 and 31. So 30 and 31. These pins are used by other local bus master in a maximum mode, and these pins are bidirectional pins, and in these pins are request grant that releases to other processor, the local bus, and at the end of processor current bus cycle, these pins are bidirectional pins and having the higher RQGT0 having the higher priority than the RQGT1. When after receiving the request on these lines, CPU sends the acknowledge signal on the same line. These are the maximum mode pins. Thank you.